Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to fan modeling course part 12. So in this tutorial you're going to just simply make the materials and you won't export this model into Blender, but there I'm going to release another video and I will show you how to actually export this into Blender so that it looks exactly the same. But this episode is quite long already, so just because of that I will record the next episode and upload how we are going to take this model, put it into Blender, and then continue making the other stuff. Alright, enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys later. So let's just go ahead and find some kind of plastic. So here we go, type in plastic and find which you think looks closest to our plastic. Let me quickly open up my folder. And let's quickly see at references. Also, let me enable scribe. Okay, so it seems like this material is just really shiny plastic, that's it. So let's go ahead and make that. Get that, so maybe it's not really this one. By the way, if you hover and hold a little bit longer, you'll see. So I think it's this plastic, boom. Let's apply it, wait for it to load, and boom. You don't really need a lot more stuff. If you want, you can tweak some stuff in here with these materials. So this is plastic color. If you click on it right here, you will see what is being used right here. So it's using color, it's using height, and all that other stuff. You can play around with this. I can sit here and explain to you how all this works, but best thing is if you look up some tutorial on YouTube quickly, if you're a complete beginner of how the interface works and what all this stuff is, and then just play around with this. You take any smart material and you analyze it, you play with them. That's literally the best thing. It's yeah, best way to learn it. There is no really other way of doing it. So yeah. And by the way, to navigation and all that stuff you'll learn. But basically, yeah, that's that. Also, let's change different environment map. You won't have this one, but basically you can download any HDRI, and if you want, you can even skip this step. I'm going to do it just so that I could see colors under natural environment. You can even skip this step, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't change anything, it's just that I want to view the model without any additional color. So with that map I had some yellow color on my model and I don't want to see that. So that's it basically. Maybe we just have a little bit too much scratches. So here, let's just see roughness variation, let's see, maybe it's going to be there. I'm doing this real time so you could see how actually I would approach this. So balance, let's see, let's lower this, and yeah, it turns out that it was scratches right there, and increase this a little bit. Don't make too much, don't add too many scratches. Now here we have contrast, scratch quantity, so here we can increase or decrease scratches. Balance is fine. Actually, let's increase the balance, but let's decrease scratch quantity. That's what we have to do. Scratch styling, that's fine. Scratch length, width, maybe I will change the width, make them a little bit smaller. Okay, now you have some scratches here and there. Right, so yeah, that's good. Now variations, let's see what's this. So by the way, you see additional options right here when you click on mask, and then you see additional ones if you click on this thing. In this case, there is nothing in here, no filters. You can add filters and stuff, but that's just basics. And like I said, just if you want, follow this now tutorial and that's it. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but yeah, that's that. Basically made all these buttons right there. Now another thing that it's really muddy or something like that, you see here, just way too much grunginess. So let's see, you can check. So okay, you want to figure out where is this effect, so you just hide this. Okay, it's not this one. Okay, is it this one? Yes it is. Variations, then you click on this. They have some options here below. No, Do I have some options here below? Yes, I do. So in that case, let's see, is it this effect, sharpen? Well, it sharpens everything, but it's not this one. Is it this one? Yes, it is. So then you found this effect, you click on it, you wait, and boom, here you have all the options related to that effect. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Wear level, you just go ahead and decrease it, see how it's looking. Okay, now it's better. Okay, wear contrast, let's see how this behaves. Oh, okay, I see. Now it gives some additional stuff in the background. And that's basically it, boom. We created this, and that's just shiny plastic. Maybe I want to make the plastic not as shiny. Right now it's very shiny. Again, go ahead and click on plastic. This might not be so self-explanatory, but basic material is this plastic, and it has color, height, roughness, metalness, and normal maps. So it's going to be actually roughness. So let's go ahead and see this roughness. If we decrease this, you see, now it's not shiny at all. We don't want this, we want a little bit of shininess to it, so something like that maybe. Let's actually go ahead and see our reference. Yeah, something along these lines. That's it, good, nice. Now, let's see these buttons at the bottom. They are different color, you see? Basically, we are going to do the same thing. We're going to just copy this. Okay, actually pause the video and try to figure out how to change button colors right here. Try and do that. I can already tell you that we are going to reuse our material. Okay, there we go. I'm going to show you the answer right now. So basically what you do is you Control C, Control V to make this new material. It is a little bit more tricky to do it. Maybe I should have shown you how masks work, but yeah. Then you go ahead and change this color right here, this plastic color, and you change it to kind of white-ish color. Let's see, what was the color? Yeah, something like this. It was shine as well. It is maybe both of those materials had to be a little bit more shiny. So let's just make them shinier, or just this one. Actually, that's fine. Okay, and now I mean it's a little bit more tricky. You click on this and there's this mask thing. If you work with Photoshop, it's basically the same thing. You just have a little bit more stuff in here. But what we are going to do is actually just add a black mask. Boom. And now we're going to paint in areas where we want that new material to show. So if I start painting here, you see, now it shows. But going like this and painting them wouldn't make sense. It's way too time consuming. So what you can actually do is make sure that you have this selected, and there is this tool, not this one. There is this tool, polygon fill. And what you can do, you can select if you want to fill only triangle, if you want to fill in only quad. Well, there are triangles, so I can't really show you that, but basically it's just a polygon. If you want to paint the whole object, that's what we need. So you just click on those and that's it. Because they are separated. This is separate geometry from this one, for example. If I clicked on this one, you see this would be painted. But yeah, this is a separate geometry right there. So yeah, boom. Now that's that. These buttons were colored. Also, we can maybe name them. So shiny plastic buttons, and this can be shiny plastic fan, I don't know. Alright, so right now we're going to add these numbers right there. These ones, 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's do it. So first of all, what you do is you go ahead and add this fill layer. Then you go ahead and copy this color. It's just simple color code. You want to get exactly the same color because it's the same plastic. So that's what you do. Or actually what you can do is just simply copy and paste this one, this color. So just copy this one, Control C, click on this one because it's going to paste above, and Control V. And that's it. That's the same exact plastic. So what you are going to do, so the whole difference is the same plastic, but they are outside, you see, they are like higher, they are like raised, basically plastic is up. So that's what we are going to do. We're not going to fake it or anything, we're going to do it like that. So right now we have this plastic on top, that's fine, but we need it higher and in certain areas. So that meaning that we only need it to follow these shapes right here. So first of all, we are going to make it a bit higher. Or first of all, let's actually determine the place, because I realized that it won't be really visually, you won't be able to see it right now if I do it. So first let's determine where we want this mask to be. Of course, we could just simply go ahead and try add a black mask and then just go ahead and paint in white in here. Of course, it will be difficult to see here. Yeah, because nothing changes here. Well, you can see something here a little bit changed, but because it's basically the same material, and we could just try to paint it in and stuff. Actually, let's just go ahead and make this red, just for demonstration purposes. I'll make this red so you could see. So yeah, like this, you could try and just type in those numbers where you want 1, 2, and 3. But then again, sometimes you might get away with it, but right now we kind of want to use some font in here. So how do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. You add to this mask, you add new fill layer right here, and it fills everything. You need to determine where you want to fill it, so you do it with an image of grayscale. Here you type in just font like this, delete everything and type in font, and then you pick font which you want. Well, similar font kinda. So it shouldn't be really text, it should say at the beginning font like this. And I don't know, maybe we can just use this one, that seems fine, this one. And now we want to determine some additional things. So go up and here select, which one is it? It's, let's see here, wrap projection, this one. That's what you want. Wait for a little bit and you're going to get this plane in here. Right now, just go ahead and position this plane, so you can use different locations like this. You can just move it like that. Then you can select different tools right here. So this is position, this is rotation, and this is scale. You can switch between them with W, E, and R. So let's just go ahead and rotate it. To rotate 90 degrees, you just hold shift there at the end. And now let's just rotate it a little bit like this. And go ahead, position it into the place, and then scale it, so R, and just scale the whole thing like this, and kind of roughly position where you want it. So in this case we want it somewhere in here. Now we want it at the top right there, and maybe we want it to be a little bit smaller still, so let's just reduce it like this, and then position it kind of roughly into the place. And right now, for some reason, it's inverted. If this happens, then probably it's a scaling thing. You need to scale it to the other side. Nope, it's not. Then is it like this? Is it flipped like this? Let's see here. 1. Yeah, it's for some reason it's like inverted or something like that. I think you can fix that with some settings in here. Let's just see here. And I'm leaving this row so that you can see that everything doesn't work really exactly first time, like some tutorials show you. Of course, I could cut all this video and make it quick, but I'm not going to do that. So it turns out that I just played around, and this is the setting. So this is flip. So it is basically a flip. So you unflip it. Make it true. So here we go. Now we don't want substance, we just want 1 space, 2 spaces, actually 2, or actually even 3 spaces. 2, 2, then 3 spaces 3, and then 3 spaces 4. Or actually, wait a second, we don't need 4. It was 0, 1, 2. Never mind. So 0, 1, and then 2, and then 3. like this. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now we still want it to be smaller, so let's go ahead and again decrease the scale like this. Now if it's fading out of visibility like this, it's because you need to raise it like this probably. You see, boom, I just raised it, it should be above. And now here just position these numbers, they should be somewhere in here. Well, I could add some spaces again still to space it out like this. It's more like this. Yep. And now if they're still too big or something like that, then what you can do is change the font size as well, like this. So you change the font size and it looks about right. I could have picked a better actually font, so let's do that quickly. Let's pick a different font. I don't really like this one. Maybe bold will look better. No, it doesn't look better. So to change the font, you just disable this and again find a better looking font. This actually goes out of your visibility, but yeah, you basically pick a font here. That's all there is to it. Let's see here. Maybe this one will look better. And now flip through and just go ahead and type in again 0, 1, 2, and 3, like this. Well, still doesn't really look that good, so let me pick a different font. This one doesn't look good as well. This one should look good actually, yeah. So let's flip it again. You might not need to flip it actually. So 0, 1, 1, 2. Actually, I put too many spaces. It's just 0, 1, 2, and 3. Like this. It should be fine. Maybe actually 2 spaces in each thing. Or actually, no. Yeah, you know, just playing around. 0, 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay, and now let's just increase the size maybe a little bit. Well, that's too much. Something to this. Boom. And now there we go. You basically have this thing right here. But again, right now you found a way to actually just tell Substance Painter where this is going to show up. So this black mask and this thing determines where this red color will show up. So now we need to tweak this red color. We need to increase the height for this thing. So right here we don't need normal, we don't need metal, we need height, roughness, and color. That's all we need. So we find height and we then just raise it a little bit. And now you see, now we determine height. You see, boom. Just go ahead and raise it just a tiny bit, like this. And then, of course, we don't need color red. So let's just get back to this color. I already copied this, so I'm just going to paste it in. Wait a second. It's this one. Well, I'll need to copy it again. For some reason, it got lost. So let's just copy it and paste it once again in here as color. Boom. Now the other thing is that be careful with height. Right now it's too high, it's too big. So something like this. You see, boom, 0, 1, 2, 3. And maybe actually a little bit higher. So if it's very small numbers, then you can just go ahead and type it in yourself. So it's 0.01, I think. Or actually maybe 0.02, that's what we need. Yeah, now that looks better. Okay, so boom, there we go. You see, now we got these numbers right there. Nice. So this is done for this part. We got these numbers right here. Now let's see, what else do we need? Let's just see. That's fine, that's fine. Everything is fine here. Oh, yeah, so this metal net. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So that's a little bit trickier to make, but thankfully there is already a material in Substance Painters, all this gallery. So I don't remember how it's called, maybe wire, maybe fence, fence. There is something. Oh, there is what we need. That's what we need. That's looking good. So let's just go ahead and add a new fill layer, right? And basically the same thing. With this, we're just going to determine where this material will be visible. So right now, just make it red so that you can see it nicely, and then just go ahead and add black mask. The same thing, add fill layer, and this grayscale, basically select that fence. So fence 0, 1, boom. Now we need to go ahead and determine other parameters, tiling, scale, and all that stuff. Right now it's wrong, it's way too big, you see. So we do need to change some stuff in here. So search for settings such as scale, and then tiling. Let's see. There we go. Tiling seems to work, you see. Boom. So it should be really small, this net right here. You see, it's quite small for sure. Just small net. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so just small net. I think maybe it's something like this, something along those lines is good. Now, of course, we don't want it everywhere. We just want it on this material right here. And also we want to hide all the other areas. So how do we do that? Well, you do need some additional thing. It's a little bit more complicated, but basically what you need is you need a different channel right here. You need opacity right here. So these channels, they determine which options you will see when you click on this material right here. So you do need opacity. Now, if you try clicking plus and searching for it in here, you won't actually see it in here. Well, you have this coat opacity, but you need to change the shader, usually, I think, if I can recall. I remember that there was something wrong with this coat opacity. Let's see. Let me quickly see. Yeah, so it's not coat opacity. You need just opacity. Yeah. So for that, you are going to need to change your shader. So right now, this is metal rough, this one, and you need to change it to, let's see, alpha metal rough with alpha blend, PBR metal rough with alpha blending. The screen is cutting off in here. I could maybe just move this tab right here and you will be able to see it better. So you need this one. It says PBR metal rough with alpha blending. So you go ahead and select this one, and now if you click on this, you're going to see opacity right here. You still can kind of see it on that side, so boom, you add opacity. And now right here in those channels, you can find this opacity parameter right here. So you just click on it, enable it, and then you go ahead and turn the opacity either up or down. So if you turn it down, you are going to see through this right now, through these red things. So what you do need is you need to invert this thing right here. So let's just search for some setting to invert this. Okay, so you just look around basically. That doesn't work. You click on this mask. Okay. That's not right. Invert mask. Boom. Oh, now you realize. Okay, now it's better. Now we're getting there. We found a setting to invert this. Now we're getting there. Okay, so there we go. So you see we got this net. So what we need to do now is determine where we don't want this whole thing to be just with this metal net. So what we do is we add another thing which is called paint. And now we just paint areas which you don't want. So you just simply take them. And now I'm going to change this color from red to maybe white so that we can see better. And now let's just click on this paint and let's continue painting areas which we don't want to be like a net, as a net. So let's just select this whole area. Just make sure that you're selecting areas which you don't want. And then of course we don't want this emblem right here. So boom, let's remove that. And now we don't want inside of this to be like that. Right, and then this thing mechanism in here. This thing, yeah, and then those propellers right here. We don't want them to be. to be like a net. Okay, now we're getting there. You see, we're getting there. What else? Let's just click on this and just double check everything carefully. I think we're good actually. Okay, yes we are, but we don't want these corners on here as well. Now this is going to be a bit more tricky. We don't want these corners right here, you see? That's a solid metal around these sides. We don't want them. But now with the same thing, we can't really do it, because if we click on it, boom, everything just disappears immediately. So for that, you are actually going to need to paint it in with this brush, let's say. Well, you can learn how to control and stuff, but yeah. Okay, we're painting opacity. Or that's just, wait a second, or that's... oh, it's this one, yeah, so just click X and it's this one. We need to start painting with this black. But this, again, it won't really work. So right now, maybe we can then just try to use a different kind of painting. Let's just click on this and let's see, maybe we can do UVs. This one. Oh, wait a second. Did this work? Yes, it did. Now what this does, if you press 2, no, wait a second, not 2, it was F2 or F1, yeah. You are going to see here these. So what this paints is just basically, this thing paints right here islands of UVs, so these areas. So if I clicked on this, it would paint only this area, this island. And we actually, when we were unwrapping, we separated this area right here. Let me just locate this on UVs. There it is. So this one. And then this one probably. We actually separated those. So now, thankfully, we don't have to manually go ahead and paint all of that stuff. So again, I'll just press 2, go back into this view, and boom. Now this is solid metal and this is a net. Now, was it black? Yes, it was black, and it was black metal. So right now, this is not plastic. We want here metal. Do we need height? No, not really. Do we need roughness? Yes, we do. Metalness, we do need that. So the color is going to be basically the same. You see here, color is the same, but go ahead and make it fully metal. So add metalness to it, and go ahead and reduce roughness as well, so that it's reflective metal, like this. Let's actually test out, maybe we need height. Let's just play around, maybe it will look better with some height. And yes, it does look better with height, but be careful, don't overuse it. Just a tiny bit to add some more depth to this wire. Just don't overuse it, something like this. And now look at that. Now it is quite thin though. I would like it to be a little bit bigger. So let me see, can we change that? So again, into levels. Oh, we got levels here. What does this do? Play around. Oh, you see, it tweaks this. We can actually make it a bit fatter like this. Just play around with these settings. We can even make it like this, disappear. We can make it eat a little bit more and just disappear the whole thing. We can make it thicker. Oh, that's what we wanted, right? So go ahead and make it a bit thicker like this. It will look bad from close up, but it will look better from further distance, like this. So you see, boom, now we actually got this nice looking thing right here. And we can see finally propeller and stuff. Everything is coming together. Alright, now what else do we need? Let's just look at that. So this is done. We can just call it fence, and that's it. Nice. So we got this thing, fence. And now let's just see, what else did we miss? Okay, right off the bat, I can see this logo in here. And we are not going to add the original logo. We'll just add something else. You could do that, but let's just not do it. What you can do, I mean, there are a lot of different ways and stamps how you can do it. I got some of my own ones. You won't really see these ones. I made them. What you can do is maybe come up and just pick some interesting looking shape, I don't know, and just play around with it, make a cool looking design out of this. You can just, I think you can just go ahead and paint it like this, it doesn't really matter. But again, you won't be able to do it like this directly, because you need again to add a new fill layer, determine what kind of substance you want in here, where do you want it. So let's just go and add a black mask, determine where we want it to be. So that's going to just be by clicking on here and selecting this and clicking on here. We want this material in here. Why is that not working? Okay, it's because it was black. We need to press X or just slide this. We need it only here, this material to be only visible in here. But then again, do we actually? No, we don't. What we want to do is we want to add another, not fill layer, we want to add the paint layer. And right now we will actually be able to paint with this stamp in here, you see? Boom. Like that. And if you want, again, this setup is very flexible because you can change the color of our stamp easily. We can change if we want it to be look metallic, if we want it to be rough or not. Just a lot of things right here. And right now we can also even change height, which would look quite cool. You see, changing height of this thing. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. And yeah, so I'll just go back and let's see here. Actually, I went back too far, add this paint layer, and now let's just see. You can actually come up with some interesting shape on your own as well. I don't know, maybe something like this. And by the way, so you scale the brush up, you probably already know that, because you watched some tutorial, you hold Control and right mouse click and then move your mouse to left or right. That's how you change the size of this brush. And then you can change some other stuff. Well, not for this brush. For this brush you can't change the other settings, so I can't really demonstrate it for you. So I add something like this, maybe add something in the middle. I don't know, you can come up with your own shape. Be creative, you know, make something interesting in here. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, these three don't look good. Let's just look for something else. And let's just make here something on the fly. Let's see, something like this. You can also come up with your own shapes by just painting simply like this. Like this, yeah. And now there was a way to rotate the brush on the fly. It's been a while since I used Substance Painter, so I actually even forgot. There was a way to rotate this. Maybe you can't rotate the shape. You should be able to though. Spacing, distance. So these are all the settings in here. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, so what you do is just hold Control and left middle mouse and then move your mouse up or down like this. You'll be able to rotate this stuff right here. So you can just go ahead and make some shape. I don't know, something like this. Do the same thing in here. And then in here. Well, probably in here though. This one. And then rotate this. And do the same thing on this side. Just kinda go like this. And then like this in here. Yeah, I don't know, something like this. Doesn't look that bad. So yeah, that's our own logo. You could actually go and use some Illustrator or Photoshop, create your own, just stamp, and that's it. Or you can just use something like that and create your own logo. That's it. So yeah, we got this, and actually it is white. It's white in here as well. It's not too rough, so here we can tweak color of it, roughness and stuff like that. For our version, let's see, maybe we do want to increase its height a little bit so that it stands out. Well, that doesn't look bad, but then again, it's just a paint. And so this is a paint, which means that we don't even need height, we don't need metalness, we don't need normal, and then opacity we don't need, we just need basically color and roughness, and paint isn't rough usually, so let's just move that up, and so it's not rough right now as well. So yeah, basically if you don't know, you can even look up some materials, how they are made. And yeah, that's it with this part. Let's see, what did we miss? Nothing. It's okay, so it's pretty tricky to do the net. It looks like this object is kind of difficult to make, but once you start dealing with it, it's not too bad at all, to be honest. And that's pretty much it. Boom. That's the fan right there. We got this metal net. If you want, you could actually do some tweaks on your own. You could go ahead and change this metal fence into white color, but then be careful again, because I think this fence right here looks a bit weird. Maybe it has too much height actually. Let's see. Let's see here. What if we make it into 0? Actually no, it's not even that. So the height part is fine. Let's just make this white again, and let's see here. Maybe it's the levels thingy right here. Yeah, it is. So you would just have to go ahead and change these levels a bit, and then let's see what's giving that other look, weird look. So let's just try removing height, and it's not really height even. Maybe it's roughness. Let's remove that. See, nope. Metalness, not really. So color seems to remove that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I think it is height, by the way. Yeah, it is height because it disappears here for a second. Yeah. But yeah, I'll just keep it black like it was. This is fine. Let me just go back to where it was. So that's fine. A bit more back. I think it was somewhere in here. Wait, but then again, I do kind of want to increase these levels a bit more. Make it a bit thicker still. You see how it just fills in. You can even play around with this, decrease or increase the thickness of that stuff. Okay, so something like this. Now from close-up, it looks better when it's thin, but from a little bit further, you do need this net kinda to be a bit thicker right there. And let's just double check this material, make sure that the roughness is down for it. That it's a reflective metal, so it is metal and it's reflective. Yes, it is. So like this. What you can also do after you finish, you can go ahead and enable some different environments. See how it looks in different environments. So something like this, for example. Okay, well, it casts some additional color. Metal shines a little bit more, you see. Now we can see more properly that this is a metal, you see. It just shines, and yeah, you can even go ahead and pick a different one. Maybe something like this. Yeah, you can still see that that's metal. Materials are nice. You can do some studio lighting as well. At the beginning, actually, you could have done all of that with some studio lighting, because it doesn't really add additional lights. Okay, yeah, it's just black and white. Let's see how it looks in this one. Oh, so if we wanted to render something similar light setup to this one, we just make all the materials pop out. You would be able to see, okay, this is plastic which is shiny, okay, nice, this is metal, this is paint, that's looking good, this is some kind of stamp with numbers right here at the bottom. So yeah, but that's that actually. And actually maybe even make a thumbnail from this. Just making materials, you know. that's it for texture painting. We've done the whole thing right here. And yeah, I hope you got this far, and I will see you guys in the next episode. See ya, guys.